Hello, friends. Today, the festive season is finished, and we are very happy and joyous mood. However, some strange things are happening in stock market in India. It's crashing, every day. It's going down and down and down. And also, I can see China is not doing very well. My point is Chinese bubble going to bust? And you see, in stock market these days, I'm seeing uh, raw material price has gone up very high, and American interest rate has gone up. That could create an inflation. Look, I'm giving an example. Price of coal, cotton, these kind of commodities. You see, these are very interesting. You see, these are going up, and also in India, especially, there was a greed. Suddenly, the market was going up and up and up. The elasticity, this theory of elasticity is going up and up and up. People were joyous. And but every good thing has an end. And that's what's happening. However, main concern is China. China is in big problem. Of course, the world, uh, real estate market is not doing very well, and it has a red flag on it. But in China's case, they're in big problem. Their real estate companies are doing very, very badly, and their export is not doing very well. All the indicators you see, economic indicators, are showing that they're not doing well. Of course, the main indicator will show well, but if you analyze those other factors like commodities, coal intake, etc., you will see the downturn there. Plus, there is a big infight. Jiang Zemin Group versus Xi the Great. They're some sort of, power hungry mafias. They mean power, nothing else. Anyway, we are going to see that, and I want to compare that with Japan in 1980s. Japan has a bubble, we all know, and how it went off, that also we know, when we felt that punch all over the world. However, China's problem is little different. China's problem is party control, lack of freedom, massive corruption, opaqueness, etc., etc. And Japan's case, it was not there. There was not much open corruption like China. China, you see, uh, communist leaders are like demigods. They can do anything and go away. Just think of Mao. What kind of person he was? Cruel, womanizer, what not? He has even killed sparrows, you see, just because he didn't like it. He was so stupid and wild. He felt sparrows are eating all his agricultural products, and he ordered all sparrows to be killed. And that caused massive problem in China. You have seen the big leap forward and that kind of crazy, crazy thing he did. I'm not going to touch this right now. There will be others in my forthcoming mm, episode. I'll talk about that different and more elaborate fashion. But here I want to show you how China and Japan are similar in many ways. In 1980 crash of Japan, 80 and up afterwards, and China are having a lot of similarities. And possibly think, I think possibly that China Communist China's rollback has started. They call it communist paradise, and that paradise is filling a lot of bins. Secrets are coming up. Very dark secret. The tennis star Peng Shui, a professional tennis star, publicly accused former vice premier of China of sexual assault, igniting online firestorm of attention to a Me Too allegation that for the first time touched the pinnacle of the Communist Party power. Jiang, 75, rose through the ranks of the party and the government. He served as governor of Shandong, the coastal province near Japan and Korea, and then as the party secretary of Tianjin industrial area. And these people are so corrupt, they are called tigers. They are tigers, I don't know why they call it tigers, because they are untouchable. But they are like mafias. Simply they are like mafias. They will not like any criticism. They are debauched. And they are, they want to harass people for nothing. As a worst kind of persons. Anyway, plus they win fights. They fight like cats and dogs every day amongst themselves. Jiang Zemin gang versus she is the omnipotent. Now I'm going to show you some similarities with Japan. Japan's problem started when the market began to be liberalized in the early 1980s, while leaving the existing structure and incentive in place. The corporate sector's financial deficit started to balloon. We have seen recruit scandal, etc., in Japan that time, meaning it spent more and earned less. So that is going to prick your balloon. The gap was filled by borrowing. On the face of it, the debt looked manageable because of the price of the land which backed the loans. Subprime also, there was some kind of, American subprime. There was some sort of statement like that, but unfortunately it collapsed. Having banks were not assessing risks and managing risks. Countries' banks regulators were unconcerned by the rapid growth in lending. Then the virtuous circle became vicious. First stock prices crashed, then land prices. Not only was the bank's system crushed by the bad loans and struggled to finance itself in the overseas market, they couldn't finance the overseas market. The infamous Japanese premium, quote unquote. But as importantly, companies were forced to start saving. Companies started saving money. And how that impacted the economy. The corporate financial deficit rapidly turned into a surplus and became a huge drag on the economy, given that country ran a huge current account surplus. By definition, government had to run a huge budget deficit. Otherwise, economy would have been imploded. All these problems were confounded by a working age population that began to shrink from the mid 90s. Japan has a shortage of labor because of the aging population, pensions, etc., etc. So Japan's problem is very severe. A lot of people who have, when I was in Japan, I saw old people, and they had quite miserable conditions. You see, they had to work at the age of 70, 75. There is a Japanese word called karasi, work to death. And poor guys face that kind of things. Having lost their money after the bubble, Japanese bubble. Leading to this age problem was leading to lower employment and less productivity. China's problems looking eerily similar, in some way worse. Demographic problems, for example, much is made of crippling effects of an aging population on Japanese growth. Japan's age population started to fall in the 1990s. China's working age population peaked 10 years ago, and its overfall overall population is probably already contracting. Japan's population we've seen. China's already population already contracting, and China would face a severe problem, in my view. Japan's underlying demographic drag came after its economic bubble popped up. China's has been a drag already. China's bubble like dynamics are going to bust. All indicators are showing China's problems are mounting. And China is behaving very belligerent because of this fact. As we have seen that before the collapse of Soviet Union, they got bonkers. They started showing missile every day. China is doing the same. And a lot of domestic problem, you know, curtailing personal freedom, economic debacle. So stock markets are seeing all this. And these are the impacts in the stock market. Commodity price, China. Therefore, in my opinion, and in as I'm seeing, we are not going to a happy, going reaching towards a happy time for some time. Because China will be the elephant in the room as it has been all the time, even in the coming future in regard to stock market. Be careful. Thank you very much.